So it looks like it's preparing for live stream. Once it's live, I can exit out of the window there. All right, good, it's live. All right, shalom, everyone. Chag Simak, Rosh Kadash, all of our brothers and sisters out there. So I hope everyone's having a joyous new moon. Our new moon for us just started tonight because we go by the first sliver. I know other brothers and sisters out there, keep different calendars like the dark moons. So some of our brothers and sisters might have had it yesterday. So, but ours starts tonight. So we're going to be doing a little new moon study here. So we're going to be doing, when does a day start? So that's going to be the name of this study. So it's going to be detailing scripture that show and even hint to that a day is from evening to evening, a full 24-hour cycle. And so, in my opinion, the first Tob showing of this is in Genesis. But yeah, it's pretty slow tonight. All right, so we're gonna go to Genesis 1:5, start off there. All right, so I apologize if it's buffering a lot because I'm even seeing it from my side that connection's not that great. All right, so I'll try to use an easy translations to go by here. This is the Alexandrian Bible, which is a modern Septuagint. It's a modern Greek Orthodox Bible. So here we go. So starting at Genesis Bereshith, chapter 1, verse 5, it says, "And Yahuwah called the light day, and the darkness he called night." First thing we should analyze here, is he saying the light is a full day? No, he's saying he calls the light day. This is daylight, okay? And the darkness he called night, referring to the night hours, the hours of darkness, okay? So this is what you call correct hermeneutics or correct biblical interpretation. You take what the verse is literally telling you without any preconceived biases of your own brain. You look at what the text literally says. Okay, the text is literally telling you the light is day, meaning those are the day hours. And then darkness is night, the night hours, full 24-hour cycle, okay? So we got to keep that in mind later on when we go to what a lot of people think Yahusha is saying in John chapter 11. So let's keep this in mind that Yahusha cannot contradict himself, okay? There was evening and then there was morning the first day. So what is that saying there? It's saying that the evening hours and the morning hours complete one full day, okay? And again, it's evening first. You have the evening hours first, then the morning hours. So there's no way you can have sunrise or even morning in general start a day if evening comes first. You see what I'm saying? That's impossible. So we're going to go to the next cross-reference, just trying to build a concrete foundation here. So that's why I'm expounding on these verses here. Okay, so the next one we're going to go to is Genesis 1:8. We're staying in chapter 1, by the way. So there's going to be a couple of cross-references in chapter 1. And maybe I should probably bring the microphone closer to me. Yeah, that might help. All right, so we're going to look at verse 8 here. And I might have to actually redo the share screen multiple times as I'm changing the share screen. So we're going to go to verse 8 now. Again, says, "And Yahuwah called the firmament heaven." This is talking about the first heaven here, the sky. Okay. "And Yahuwah saw that it was two, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day." So to complete the whole second day, you have to have the evening hours plus the morning hours. So hopefully you can see that there. All right.
so now we're going to go to the next cross reference we have here is verses 19 to 24. So now we're going to look at verses 19 to 24 here. Let me just move something here so I can scroll with my mouse a little bit easier. All right, so verses 19 to 24. Okay, here. All right, let me see here. And there was evening, there was morning, again, evening hours, morning hours, the fourth day. Verse 20. And Yahuwah said, let waters bring forth reptiles. And again, reptiles, I'm going to just FYI, that's a bad translation by Brenton there, which unfortunately a lot of translators have carried over. It's actually supposed to say, I believe it's supposed to say sea monsters or sea creatures in general, if I'm not mistaken. So let me see here, the word for reptiles here. Yeah. Herpaton, creeping animal. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a reptile. It can just be any creeping creature of the sea. So just wanted to FYI, bring that correction to that translation there. So it says, let the waters bring forth creeping creatures having life, winged creatures flying above the earth in the firmament of the heaven. And it was so. And Yahuwah made great sea monsters. Whales is another mistranslation there. I should say it should be like great sea creatures, sea monsters, every living, creeping creature which the waters brought forth according to their kinds, and every creature that flies with wings according to their kind. And Yahuwah saw that they were tube. And Yahuwah baruched them, saying, increase and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let the creatures that fly be multiplied on the earth. And there was evening, the evening hours, and there was morning, morning hours, daylight hours, the fifth day. So as you see, this is a reoccurring theme. You have evening hours coming first, and then the daylight hours. And by default, when the daylight hours are over, what do you have? You have sunset. So sunset to sunset. So hopefully you guys are seeing that. Okay. And Yahuwah said, let earth bring forth the living creatures according to their kind. By the way, quadrupeds, quad four. So it's talking about like four-legged creatures walk on all fours. And again, reptiles, I would have to look that up to see if that's supposed to be reptiles, because the problem with Brennan is he loves to translate like everything for reptile. It should just say wild beasts. I don't know why. Yeah, so it should say, and Yahuwah let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kind, four-footed beasts and wild, maybe it is reptiles, I don't know, reptiles and wild beasts of the earth according to their kind, and it was so. So that's it for those verses there. Yeah, like, I don't know, Brenton, man, he definitely did not know Greek as much as he thought he did. That's all I'm going to say. Just kind of like the King James translators thought they knew Hebrew so well, translating 3 different Hebrew words as green ears. That's a whole nother topic. So now keep that in mind, what we just read in Genesis 1. What's our foundation already, right? Evening hours, morning hours, you have to have both to have a full day. So we're gonna keep that foundation. We're gonna read Exodus 31, 16 to 17. And after I read this verse real quick, I'll go to Brother Ray. I see he's got a hand up, but let me just read this verse real quick, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, there's not 6 physical days that the creation happened, and they'll try to use the gap theory. So this is all for gap theorists out there. Pay attention to this verse. It's Exodus 31, verse 16 to 17. And the children of Yashrael shall keep the Sabbaths to observe them throughout their generations. Notice verse 17 here. It is a perpetual covenant with me and with the children of Yashrael. It is a perpetual sign with me, for in 6 days. Doesn't say like 6 days. It doesn't say 6 ages. It doesn't say in 6 million years, whatever. It says 6 days. Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day, not a seventh day, okay, he ceased and rested. Makes it very clear. It's talking about 6 literal days. So I know there's a lot of people out there that think there's a gap between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, but to me, Exodus 31:16-17 blows that out of the water. You have no case for the gap theory with that verse. It's 6 literal days it's talking about. So anyway, go ahead, Brother Ray.
Oh, thanks. I was just gonna say that I've seen a lot of people who will go for a 12-hour day, and usually what I will try to show them, and I don't know if you're gonna cover it, so I don't want to like go over all that they say, but like in Genesis, at least Genesis, I try to show them that, you know, it, because they'll say like a day is just a 12-hour period, and that we're only supposed to keep the Sabbath 12 hours and that's it. But I try to show them, like, you know, and they kind of abuse the word day to get to that conclusion. So I try to show them, like, hey, like if you read Genesis 1, it'll show you like the first day was evening and morning together, so 24 hours. And some will receive it and some will literally just ignore it, sadly.
Yeah, I would say the creation account, I would agree with you, brother. And just to piggyback off what you just said, the biggest flaw in the 12-hour day theory is you have to completely ignore the creation account. You have to ignore it and somehow put your own spin on it. You know, what Christianity would call eisegetically interpret it. And just put your own idea into the text. That's the only way you're going to get through Genesis chapter 1 as a whole chapter, and still believe a day starts at morning when the morning hours come after evening hours, clearly in the text. So there's no way around that. So the only way to do that is you just ignore it. You say, oh, that's not what it's talking about, or try to reword it to your own liking, or try to say, you know, in the Hebrew, it's worded opposite, you know, whatever. You know, but go ahead, Mom. I thought I saw you had a hand up.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So again, Exodus 31, for those that want to think it's not 6 literal days, it says 6 days in the heavens and the earth, not ages. So I point that out too, because some people want to interpret the creation account like a first day, a second day. You know, they want to get into the whole, you know, idea that it doesn't have to be a 24-hour period and a day is like 1,000 years, yada yada yada. So, but anyway, so the next cross reference we're gonna go to, if there's no other questions or comments, I was going to go to John 11:9, which is pretty much one of the main go-to verses with this false doctrine of a 12-hour day and a morning to evening Sabbath. So I want to go to John 11:9, and I really want to get the context too. I want to look not just at that verse, but the whole context of what Yahushua's talking about in that chapter. What is he talking about? Is he talking about daylight, or is he talking about a whole day? So let's see here. And the reason I'm using this version, obviously, is for simplicity. It's a lot more modern English than the Bretons here for the most part. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll start at verse 8 here. It says that the disciple said to him, Rabbi, Rabbi, the Judeans just now sought to stone you. You arise to go there again? Yahushua answered, are there not 12 hours of the day? If anyone walks in the day, he stumbles not. Daylight, he stumbles not, because he sees the